Well, Dee, thank you so much for taking some time to join me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, well, I want to first talk about some health challenges that you had a number of years ago. What were those challenges and how were you trying to deal with them?
Yeah, when I was in my early 20s, around 21, 22, I started having really bad digestive issues, like to the point where I wasn't digesting my food properly, meaning that I was bloated all the time and that I wasn't going to the bathroom. I was going to the bathroom maybe one time per week.
Hmm.
Now, that is just not the way that your body is supposed to function
It's not
because
a
your
fun way to live.
body's it's not, and I was so heavily affected by the the mood swings and how I felt and how uncomfortable I felt. I was very unhappy feeling this way. And there are actually so many Americans that feel this way too, but nobody really talks about it. Um, I was in the Israeli Defense Forces while I was going through this, health crisis in my life, and I knew that something was wrong because I'm 22 years old,
And
so I
can
shouldn't
we
be
just
going through.
we need to back up. Like my mind is
Uh,
going, and I've read your bio, but Israeli Defense Force, like that's a is that like our excuse my ignorance. Is that like our army or Marines or what is that? What was that equivalent to in the US?
like the army.
Man, and how many years did this was by choice you signed up?
I did. I volunteered when I was 19, and girls do 2 years and boys do 3 years. If you live in Israel, it's mandatory, but I lived in America, so I didn't have to do it. But I was in a point in my life that I just had zero direction in my life. Didn't go to college, didn't know what I was going to do. All I knew was that I needed to make money. And I was super burnt out and decided to join the army almost for an experience. I was looking to experience something outside of grinding 40 hours a week as a 19-year-old.
Sure, sure. Wow. Okay. Side note, I was in the army for 2 years. I just feel like is Israeli Defense Forces sounds so much cooler than army, like the army.
It does. I mean, like and it also has a very like group feeling because it has the word defense in it and not like attack. So it's like we are here to defend our country, and that is what we're doing, and it says it in the title. So I think that that's very smart. But
All
it
right,
definitely gave me an incredible experience.
back to bloating now. So you
Well,
had these
in the
challenges. What
army,
did you try to
in
do to remedy this?
so I did a lot of things. I started drinking a ton of water, and that didn't resolve it. I started exercising more, and that didn't resolve it. I started eating more fibrous foods. That didn't resolve it. I started cutting out certain foods, gluten and carbs and different things that I was trying out. But it was very difficult to do in the setting of the army because you're eating at a cafeteria. So it's not like I was going to the grocery store and being able to say, okay, I'm going to buy this and it's going to be organic and I'm going to buy this. I was eating foods that were mass produced for 3,000 to 5,000 people at a time.
Mhm.
So they're using heavy oils and, not organic, not fresh produce. And my body at a certain point just like broke down is what ended up happening. And I actually forgot about this, but I even used to take figs and prunes, which are really good for stimulating digestion naturally, and I would steep them in water overnight, and then I would drink the water and eat the figs and the prunes in the morning, and it would help my digestion, but it wasn't like a long-term fix for me. So I ended up having a colonic, which is a procedure or a treatment that, they literally take a tube and stick it up your butt and flush water up there in order to get out all this literal crap that's in your body. But what number one, it's not like a fun experience. It's not like you're going to the spa or you're getting a massage. It was very uncomfortable for me.
And
But
people do
aside,
this regularly. This is not like
yeah,
some people really enjoy it.
They do, and they feel light and they feel cleaned out. And I'm not here against colonics. It was just for me, it was too expensive and too outside of my comfort zone of what I believed a healthy body should be able to digest its food and go to the bathroom in our ideal world. But going through that treatment really opened my eyes because I was like, I felt and saw all the stuff that was coming out of me. And it was the first thing that gave me reality that our bodies store and accumulate toxins over time. And most people will never understand that in their lifetime because we're not walking around with x-ray machines that are showing us our gut. And the gut health connection is only now being talked about. And even now, like most Americans grow up on chemical and processed foods. They just do. And they don't have it affect their bodies because our bodies are so strong, but only when they turn 25, when they turn 30, when they turn 35, things start changing for them. And they're like, I didn't feel this way when I was 20. Why am I feeling this way now? And what I found for me is that it was an accumulation of those toxins over time. And no matter what I was doing presently to fix it, whether it was water or changing my diet or fiber, nothing was handling it because I had this accumulation. I had this stored up, backed up amount of toxins. And then that's when I started looking into natural, holistic alternatives.
And at what point did tea become part of the solution? And what were the effects?
Well, I started reading books from like doctors and chiropractors, and they just kind of mentioned in there, like, one of the natural solutions is tea. So I was like, okay, great. I'm going to find some cleansing teas and I'm going to try this out. So I went to Whole Foods and I bought a bunch of different teas that said like liver cleanse, kidney cleanse, detox, and they were all between $5 to $8. And I tried them all and they all tasted fine, but they didn't do anything for me. They didn't do anything. So I was like, well, this doesn't work, but theoretically it should. So then I started diving down the difference between high quality loose leaf tea and powdered teas that are in bags of tea that people, when they think of tea, they usually think of a powder inside of a tea bag.
Sure.
So that's when I started educating myself on these high quality ingredients. So that's what I ended up doing.
And what is it about the tea itself that produces, like, rids a body of toxins? Like, how does that work medically?
There's two teas that are part of our detox program. There is the morning tea that helps boost metabolism, raise energy, and suppress cravings, which is happening through the yerba mate, through the oolong, through the ingredients that have been shown to do that in traditional usage. So it's just a combination of those teas together in the right quantities. So like I drink my skinny tea in the morning instead of coffee personally. Doesn't mean you have to, but and I get enough energy out of that every day, and I don't have like spikes and crashes. And then the nighttime colon cleanse is really the magical tea, because this stored accumulation that we have in our gut is hard as a rock. It's hard as a car tire. So what the colon cleanse does, and it uses ingredients such as senna and such as hawthorn, and senna is a very controversial ingredient that I'm willing to talk about openly, because senna has gotten like a really bad rap out there because there's different qualities of senna and there's
And that's a
different
tea?
yeah, it's a tea ingredient. Now,
SENNA?
yep,
And it's actually a tea leaf.
yep.
Okay.
And it's
Educate
controversial.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's controversial because of the fact that it creates an effect on the body that rids it of toxins very quickly. So they're like, well, is that healthy that you're ridding the body of toxins? The body is supposed to detoxify itself. So it does get controversial. So in our colon tea, that is the cleansing tea, we make sure that we put the right amount of senna, not too much, that won't dehydrate the body. And there's only 15 tea bags. It's every other night for 30 days. It's not meant to be a long-term thing that people become dependent on. The real purpose of this is to help, for me, to help Americans that have been eating junk food their entire lives, and the amount of toxins they have in their body is overwhelming. And now they're in their mid 30s and they're eating a healthier diet, but their body isn't changing. And
Hmm.
it's, to me, and what I found for myself is that these accumulated toxins are preventing the body from almost adjusting to a healthier diet or adjusting to what's happening today.
So
And
if I drink this the colon cleansing tea,
mhm,
15 tea bags, that's 30 days, right? Every
mhm.
other day. What would I anticipate experiencing?
So everybody has their own experience because everybody has different levels of toxins. Like, I don't know what you ate yesterday, and I don't know what you ate 5 years ago. However, it all depends about how long you steep the tea. If you steep the tea for 5 minutes, you're going to have a more gentle effect. If you steep it for 30 minutes, you're going to have a stronger effect. So it depends how willing you are to go to the bathroom, just to
I'm
be
heading to the bathroom. Like
fully
I'm
honest.
drinking
Yeah.
it and I'm sitting on the toilet simultaneously. Not that fast.
No, it usually, you drink it at night before bed, and in the morning, you're going to go to the bathroom and you are going to be shocked. Just as I was shocked when I got a
Really?
colonic. You're going to say to yourself, where is that coming from?
Oh
Where is
my.
that coming from? There's so much waste
I've got
in
to
the
try
body.
this.
Oh, well, I'll make sure that
That
my
sounds
assistant
that
sends you
sounds
some.
crazy.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is how good you feel when those toxins are out of your body. You feel light, you feel refreshed. And my purpose really with this program is to get people to a point where they feel like themselves in their own skin. And then healthy diet and healthy exercise is all that they need.
How many times
I'm
a year do you suggest someone doing a colon cleansing?
Really depends, there are people that do it 6 7 times a year because that's what they feel is best for their body and that's what they need. I probably think that I personally do it more 4 to 5 times a year, but that's also because my body is very sensitive. If I eat junk food, my body reacts pretty crazy because my body likes clean food. So when I eat things that are not clean, my body doesn't like it. It can get sick, it can feel icky. So I try to do juice cleanses and do our Teami 30-day detox, maybe four or 5 times a year just to feel light and feel refreshed and make sure that I'm, feeling my best.
What is the difference between your detox teas and all the rest that are on the market? Because I see,
Yeah.
there is some controversy, it seems like. I'm not in the health and fitness industry. That's not my, total focus, but I am aware of the controversies, around the
Yeah.
detox teas. How is your tea different?
That's a great question. I mean, number one, it all comes down to ingredients. So we actually have a video on our YouTube channel that I show my tea ingredients and their quality in comparison to uh, other tea brands that claim to have the same effects. So it all comes down to ingredients. I've tasted and I've tried all of their teas and they didn't work for me. And that's why I created my own. I didn't come out here to create a business. I was looking to solve my own problem and I was able to solve it with this product that I created because the other ones didn't work for me. So I think that the main difference is the quality. Like, we get so many customers from those other brands that say XYZ didn't work for me, will yours work? And we have to kind of be like, yeah, try it, see how it works for you. And then they always see amazing results. Um, the other aspect of it is that these other brands are only dedicated to this idea of being skinny
Weight
or
loss.
to weight loss, and they are promoting it as a quick fix. So I'm telling you here on this podcast that I don't want people to use it as a quick fix. I want people to use it as they would do a juice cleanse. or like my husband, if he decides, you know what, I'm feeling kind of tired. My energy is really down. I'm going to go paleo for a month. So it doesn't mean that he needs to be paleo for the rest of his life necessarily, but he's doing something to get his body lighter and to get it almost reset and recharged. So that's really my viewpoint on it. And I think that that is one of the biggest differences. It's hard to tell like on a website because you're not talking to me, but that's one of my main differences between me and these other companies that are just like, drink this tea and lose weight and drink this tea and be skinny. And that's not really my purpose. My purpose is to help people feel better so that they can go on living a happy, healthy lifestyle, not necessarily need to be using my products all the time.
Okay. Let's go back to the actual product development. So you started uh, kind of experimenting with different teas.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did you say, okay, I've got to create my own? Or did you start blending things together? You know what I mean? Like, how did this come about to create Teami?
Well, it was a pretty funny story. So after I tried the different teas from Whole Foods that didn't work for me, I ordered some of these other detox teas from Australia and from all these other places. Of Google, just like some bulk ingredients of different teas. And then I randomly was at a get together in Miami at a friend's house, and I met a guy, and he asked me what I did. I was a personal trainer at the time, so I said, "Oh, I'm a personal trainer, and I do spin classes." And he said to me, "Oh, that's really cool. I manufacture tea and coffee." I was like, "Oh, you do you?" And we started chatting, and he's my business partner now and since then. And so he was actually able to bring this idea to fruition because he had been manufacturing tea for over 5 years.
Wow. And so then you guys began to work together on how do these blends create a
Hmm.
detoxifying, environment in the body.
Yeah, and research and testing and taste testing and seeing how it is and how it works.
And you've only been doing this for 6 years now. Is that right?
It'll be 6 in October. Yes.
6 years. And the company has just exploded. I know it feels like probably 60 years. Like when you look back, it doesn't feel like, overnight. It's a long term.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you what would you say has been the key to your success in this process?
I think it is I think number one, that I was doing things that the other detox companies weren't doing. So my Instagram feed and what I was promoting was different. And I think that was eye catching for customers. And my messaging was different than it was always, it's not just a tea, it's a lifestyle. Be happy, be healthy, and continuously innovating our products. Most of these other companies that you would consider our competitors, which I don't even consider in the same space as us anymore, they um, they just have that one product. And so we've expanded into skincare, and we've expanded into even a greens powders, because we really want to be a healthy lifestyle marketplace for people that are looking to feel better in their lives, no matter what stage of their life they're at. So I think that one of the things that made us more successful is that we had more to offer to our customers. We didn't just have that one SKU. So we had the tea, but we also had a nighttime tea, and we had a nursing tea for moms, and we have different tumblers, travel tumblers that you can take on the go. So there's just, I think, being able to offer your customers more options keeps them around longer.
You even have a skincare refrigerator now.
Just launched like right now.
What the heck? You were like I was blown away. I thought this is really cool. A refrigerator for your makeup products that you would put maybe in your bathroom or bedroom or something in order to keep
Yep.
what's the purpose?
So we create skincare products that are completely natural. And if anybody listening here uses natural skincare, you know that when you're not using chemical preservatives, the products don't last as long as chemical preservatives ones do. So a lot of people that use natural skincare products and skincare products in general have been putting their products in the fridge to keep them chill, to keep them at 35 to 40 degrees instead of, on your bathroom counter that is 75 to 80 degrees. So what happens is the product gets their shelf life extended by 40%, and it's chilling the skincare so that when you're putting it on your skin, you're getting the extra benefit of reducing puffiness and reducing inflammation. And it's just a great way to store everything in an organized fashion.
And it's beautiful. It's a cute little refrigerator. I liked it. It was nice.
Thank you.
So this is an amazing feat of building a company with revenue upwards of 8 figures in a short period of time, 6 years. How have you personally, I know you have a business partner that's helping you with product development, but how have you personally been able to manage this? What have been some of your learnings along the way? This is a really big deal.
Oof, I know. And I want to make it clear that um, I still go through ups and downs. Maybe other business owners or other podcast guests won't say that, but the e-commerce and social media changes on a daily basis, and algorithm changes and our whole business goes to shit. Like,
Yeah.
no kidding. So we're experiencing those things every year as they come. So we might be doing really well one year, and the other year we might have to pivot and to make changes. But I think that one of the things that um, has allowed us to scale in this way is by consistently promoting with no break. So we've been posting on Instagram 4 times a day for the last 5.5 years. No matter what's happening with the algorithm, I'm just like, fuck it, let's post. Like, let's talk about our products. And I think that consistency and that persistence, it accumulates and it creates like a snowball effect.
And your Tumblr, I mean, every photo I see of you, the thing is glued in your hand. I mean, I'm surprised you don't have it in your hand right now. Yeah, I think you
It was in
sleep
the
with
other
that thing in
room.
your hand. It's like Teami branding. Look at me. I'm meeting the president of the United States. I just happen to have my Tumblr here. You're so good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you. My friend says I'm a walking Teami billboard, and it's true. Like what the Tumblr is for me. It's this personal goal that I wanted to have, which is people when they walk around with a coffee cup or a Starbucks cup or a Dunkin' Donuts cup or whatever it is, there's a feeling of coolness that goes along with it. I just woke up. Here's my coffee. I'm going to hustle now. It's like this correlation through the media of like hustle, work hard, or even if it's like you're enjoying your time in the morning, it goes with coffee, right? Now, I'm not an anti-coffee person. That's like something that everybody needs to know. I drink coffee once a week with my husband because I enjoy getting like a latte, but I don't need it for energy. But my husband, I mean, we're from Portland, so coffee is like our craft brew up there.
Sure.
But drinking tea or doing this detox doesn't sound so fun. Somebody wants to do this detox. How can I make it easy for them to do it while they're working and to have something that they can hold and drink that product? And that's how we came out with the tumbler. No other detox company out there has a tumbler like this. It doesn't make any sense. Like, how are people going to use this tea that you just sold them? So this BPA-free travel tumbler, it allows you to put your tea in it, add hot water, and it has a strainer, and you take it to work, and you take it to, your gym class, or you take it wherever you want. And you can also use that tumbler to make smoothies and to put detox water and to put water in general. You can use it for whatever. And so I think that actually, the tumbler was one of the main points of like growth for us, where we have it in like 16 different colors now, and our customers buy new ones, which is crazy. Like, we come out with a new color that they love, they'll buy a new tumbler.
Match their outfit.
Mm-hmm. and it gives them it's what they like. And when I was making the tumbler, I had no idea. I made one green one, and then somebody asked me, it was like, hey, I'd love one in pink. I was like, okay, I guess I'll make one in pink. And then it just kind of like spiraled. So now we have like all the colors of the rainbow. We have pastel colors, and we have customers that really own almost all of the colors.
Now, just for somebody who hasn't experienced this, you put the loose tea leaves in the top. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That is
And then
correct.
you pour the hot water over the tea leaves in the tumbler.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And so that's not a steeping then, is it? Or is
But
the
then
water?
then you add the strainer at the top.
Okay. And so then the leaves are just sitting in the top of the water in the top of the tumbler.
No, they're sitting like in the body of it.
In the
My
body of it.
tumbler is
Okay.
not. Yeah, the body. They're like floating in there.
Okay. All right.
You don't need to take them out. Like it tastes delicious. Like you don't need to take out the leaves.
They're just hanging out in there.
Yeah, like somebody comes up to me, someone's like, "Do you have like a salad inside of your water?" You know, because they're huge leaves. They start off really, really small, and then they expand into these beautiful big leaves. Because that's the biggest difference between drinking powdered tea, and I'm not talking about matcha. I'm talking about like powdered blends that are
Right.
very low quality. Is that you're not drinking the tea leaf, so you're not getting the benefits of that tea leaf because you're not drinking it.
Mm-hmm.
With our blends, you're getting the entire tea leaf. You're seeing it expand, and then you're getting the nutrients from it.
Let's talk for just a second about someone who's listening to the podcast who has an idea or a passion for a product, something that they are wanting to develop. How would you encourage them to kind of take a next step in their thought process?
You know, I think that we can get a little bit stuck when it comes to the how. How will I do this? And I can say that even for myself, when I'm trying something new, how will I do this? And I can get stuck there for a while. So I just suggest taking small steps, even if you're only spending an hour on it a day. If you do that, it will accumulate, over time, and you will get something done. And so don't try to take everything all at once. Just go step by step by step until you feel a little bit more confident in what you're doing.
So you're 6 years in. Let's now look 6 years out, 12
Mm,
years, right? Where do you want to
hmm
be 6 years from now? Right? We're not worried about the how, like you just said. We're just worried
hmm
about what does that vision look like 6 years from now? What do you want to be doing?
I think that I want Teami to be a more well-known brand. There's a lot of people that know about us, but a lot of people that don't. So I just want our brand name to be more recognized, and to be and to when you say it, that the person says, "Oh, I know what that is." So continue to create good products that people want and need in their lives, that they're excited about. And if I can move into a little bit more of a content role where I'm creating free content for my customers, I think that that's really the next step for me that I haven't really been able to accomplish. I've just been creating and selling products to a degree. And I think that creating content is actually much more difficult than what I'm doing today. And finding time in owning a business to then create free content is very challenging for me, and I've never done it before. So I think that if we're looking 6 years out, that I am doing that, and I have overcome the learning curve on how to do that correctly.
Awesome. Well, Adi, you have been gracious to give our listeners a discount code of 20% off just so they can test some of the Teami blends. And so if they use the discount code INSPO, INSPO, at teamiblends.com, that's TEAMIBLENDS, teamiblends.com, INSPO, get you 20% off. That's a good way to start of anything on the website.
Yeah, that's right.
Does it even work with a refrigerator? Like that's a big discount on the refrigerator. I don't know. That's a
Yeah,
big,
it
okay.
it probably will work on the refrigerator because
That's
the minimum
crazy.
is very low. Yeah.
I'm buying a refrigerator from Teami Blends. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God.
Maybe that'd be cool.
I don't know if
Uh,
you have a wife, that's probably, it
oh,
would
I
be a great
do.
present. It
That could
would be a
be.
great
Yeah.
present.
Yeah. Here's a refrigerator. I bought her a grill for Mother's Day one time.
Oh my
Our
gosh.
kids and I, because she's the griller in the family. I don't grill. And she was so excited. I posted it on social media. I'm like, hey, I bought my wife a grill. Just that people, you know, people were not as excited as she was. But Adi, thank you so much for taking time to just share about your journey. I'm so impressed. I'm so inspired by what you're doing. And my hope is that people would not only be inspired by your story, but that they will check out your product, that they would experience some health benefits as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I love helping others and sharing my story.